kisses on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home. I fumble my words, yeah, my mind's a mess when you're in that dress. Glad you're home. Will you stay with me and never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came. Glad you came. When you're not around, I've been broken. Glad you came. Glad you came. I was lost till I fell in your eyes. Had me wondering why I feel like home. I hold you close so you're by my side till the end of time. Before we go, will you stay with me and never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came. Glad you came. When you're not around, I've been broken. Glad you came. 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 I'm glad you came.
Are we just smaller versions of a bigger home? Are you the rivers in your veins? Am I the flakes that become snow? And you might believe that everything is broken. Fragments of sentences we haven't spoken. But maybe, are we just jagged lines across a barren sea? Are the shapes inside a sundisk the same as the arms of trees? And saying we're a shell of what we used to be. Maybe we're smaller. Are we just smaller? And I get lost in finding comfort this time. still make me think of what we used to be. Maybe we're smaller. Are we just smaller?
Place the needle down, press play and turn around, sashay across the floor to where I sit. Swamped in my linen shirt, covering up your denim skirt. It's a perfect fit. Slow motion ballet, bare feet on the parquet. You pull me from the sofa to my feet. Red wine and cigarettes, lipstick kisses upon my neck. You pull me close so I can feel your heat. It happened again. All of my friends drift away, drift away. Now we're alone, all on our own. Drift away, drift away. And once again, all of my friends drift away, drift away. Now we're alone, all on our own. Drift away, drift away. Fireworks in the sky tonight, room alive with multicolored lights. A car alarm rings out across the square. The chandelier swings from a ceiling rose. We stand reflected in sash windows. We could be alone for all I care. Hand in hand, face to face, slow jams by the fireplace. A clock runs slow above us on the shelf. Smile at me and I smile back. Red wine turned our smiles black as the clock strikes 12. It happened again. All of my friends drift away, drift away. Now we're alone, all on our own. Drift away, drift away. And once again, all of my friends drift away, drift away. Now we're alone, all on our own. Drift away, drift away.
되게 이쁘게 생겼네. 오야 이거 색깔 이쁘다. 오 일부러.
the narrow flies, nowhere to be, no dreams to chase tonight. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. You and I, heads up in the clouds. We caught out with the birds flying south. Nothing to see as the day turns into night. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. We got time to waste, let's waste it right.
I feel the liquor holding on to my breath, playing back every word that I said. I'm sitting in the dark, reminiscing on the two of us. I didn't think you'd leave, baby, I guess I was just thinking that wasn't my best. We had everything, it was gone before the summer started. Got the memory of a love filling my lonely nights. Still think about you from time to time. I'm not asking you to come over, just wanna hit your line, baby, one more time. So tomorrow in the morning, can I call you when the sun comes up? Just to hear the way you say my name, it reminds me of when it was us. Can I call you when the sun comes up? Just to hear the way you say my name, it reminds me of when it was us. Would you answer if I called you? Yeah, I know that it's been a while. So tomorrow, can I call you when the sun comes up? Call you when the sun comes up.
Do I have what it takes to make you fall in love with me? Am I the real deal or just another one of those who fake it? Maybe I don't really know you. Maybe I don't really know myself. Let me rest in your arms until the morning comes and fades away our fears. I want to grow up with you. Cliche to say, but it's true. Tell me you see me just as I see you. Sometimes I don't know why I keep trying so hard to change. Should I turn on the lights and let you see me just the way I am? Can you tell me your secrets? It is time to let our guard down. I can promise you anything but loving you tonight. I want to grow up with you. Cliche to say, but it's true. Tell me you see me just as I see you. I want to grow up with you. Cliche to say, but it's true. Tell me you see me just as I see you. Do I have what it takes to make you fall in love with me? Am I the real deal or just another one of those who fake it?
몇 개 없어 근데.
Telling her to calm down. My head in my hands now. Play it back, I still can't seem to figure out. When the rain came space in our living room. Try to shrug it off, say it's nothing, but we both know that just isn't true. Baby, I can't seem to trace it. This love was sacred, now it's got our knees on the floor. Lost in translation, if we're way past saving, then what's it all for? Tell me it's alright, tell me we're alright, tell me that you and I have a chance. Oh, tell me it's alright, tell me we're alright. Swear I traded all to get us back again. Back again. Oh, yeah. Back again. Till another countdown. My head in my hands now.
Yeah, yeah. Let me sing. See, funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story. I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool, I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me. But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1,000,000. Something about the way you strut your stuff. Oh, girl, you're fine as you wanna. What I'm supposed to do? Something told me got time to lose. Go ahead and bust a move. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And if it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Fall back just a little, don't wanna lead you on, don't wanna push a feeling and make the feeling gone. You see, I got your number, but still I ain't used the phone, no. I let it breathe for a minute, baby. Next thing I know, you call. Damn. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure it's what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And when it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure.
Pull over here, let's get some rest. A big day ahead of us, your seeds were clack step. My child, don't make a sound. It's time to sleep now. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. Give it all to you. Heart like a rock, head like the sky, with cloudbursts of chemicals improving your life. My girl is a fortress so proud. She's not coming out. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. Give it all to you.
Sometimes I need a phone call, but you are still unanswered. You break my heart in pieces, but you don't care, no. You just don't care, no. I don't wanna play, baby, I'm just fine. I don't need you anymore. I don't need a friend, 'cause I have enough. I don't need you anymore. Please just walk away. Leave me, please just walk away. You can walk away, please just walk away. Leave me, please just walk away. Don't shine in moonlight. I fade into stars stuck in your eyes. Yeah, I'll take a million of these nights. I can stay forever, forever in your arms. I can stay forever, I can stay forever, I can stay forever in your arms. I can stay forever, I can stay forever in your arms. You can walk away, please just walk away. You can walk away, please just walk away. You can walk away, please just walk away. Leave me, please just walk away. You can walk away.
Hit my head on the concrete back in high school. Knocked out cold, but I still remember it so well. Had my first dance and my first heartbreak. Made some friends that I still have. moment. Everybody is moving on to new things. We're still young, but looking back's like history. Oh, and all of the memories that we made will last a lifetime. And even the worst ones made us who we are today. It's the good and bad and the best of memories. It's been so long, but you still remember me. And after all these years, I found out finally that I can't go back or change it, but I wouldn't trade a moment. That smile was a miracle in my world of confusion. Oh, I fell in an instant. Took but moments to see that she was all I need. Eyes shining like noonday sun to bring some light when this world didn't have none. Oh, I fell in an instant. Took but moments to see that she was all I need. Oh. Yes, I fell in an instant. Took but moments to see that she